Can you hear me? My first Facebook Live. Let me know if you can hear me. Thumbs up, hearts, anything, let me know. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Just, okay. This is my first Facebook Live, so I'm hoping you can hear me. Let me turn my Facebook Live, so. All right, I just turned off my volume on my laptop, and we are live. As far as I can tell, you guys are gonna have to give me some kind of comments or anything. I decided to try Facebook Live. I have a YouTube channel, but that's very one-sided, and I would love to get a conversation started around homeschool. Okay, I see a thumbs up. Wonderful. So you can hear me. Thank you. I wanted this to be a back and forth conversation, so I'm trying Facebook Live so that we can interact. So if at any time you have any questions during the course of this live, please drop them in the comments. Hopefully I'll see, oh, thank you, Quentin. Hopefully I will see them and I'll provide you with answers. So I know most of us are busy parents who are taking time out of our day to just squeeze in this Facebook Live, so I will not take any more of your time than needed. Hopefully we'll be out of here, at least I'll be done with my part in about 30 minutes. If you have questions and it turns into more of a back and forth and you want to take another 5 to 10 minutes, I am free to do that. So let me start by trying to demystify homeschooling. That's a word I got from Andrine. Thank you. Let me try to demystify what homeschooling is all about. Number one, you do not need a degree to homeschool. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. All you need to do is want more for your child. Just want more for your child. The first time we homeschooled about 4 years ago, I just wanted to spend more time with my kids. We had gotten really busy and I wanted to spend more time with them. That was enough. Another thing is you do not need to homeschool forever. Hello, Danielle, welcome. You do not need to homeschool forever. For example, we ended up re-enrolling. We homeschooled for a season back in 2016-17 and ended up re-enrolling my kids in our zone schools. So this is an opportune time. Most of our kids are at home with us anyway during COVID, so you can add more flexibility into your schedule if you just know what to do regarding homeschooling. That's why I am here. Let me pause and just say this is being brought to you by the Law Office of u.nkechitv. That's me. And I am here to share what I know about homeschooling, both as a mom and as an attorney. Do not consider this legal advice because each family is unique, each child is unique. So you are absolutely welcome if you need more information or are considering homeschooling to visit my website, which is nkechitlaw, nkechitlaw.com, and do two things. One, please subscribe so that when I do future events, you'll be the first to know. And two, just leave me a comment in the Get in Touch section, and I will respond and we can speak more one-on-one. So this is not legal advice. Consider it advertising. It's generally for basic information to let you know that you do have options, you do have choices, and results I get with my kids might be different from results another family gets with theirs, which might be different from the results you get. But hopefully we can work together to put something together that works successfully for your family. A third thing is you do not even need to provide the instruction for yourself. Thanks for the thumbs up. You can have a co-op, other homeschool parents. Welcome, Ms. Barash. Okay, I'm going to try not to keep jumping. I'm excited because it's my first time. I'm going to welcome. You don't need to even provide the instruction by yourself. You can join something called a co-op. If another homeschooling parent is, or anybody, if your uncle or brother is great at math, you can have your child learn math from him. All you need to do is let the district know who will be in charge of teaching the particular subjects. The library is a wonderful resource. I'll talk about that later. DVDs, books, free museum passes. You don't need to do the teaching yourself. And kids learn a lot online anyway. YouTube, well, I haven't really used YouTube, but there are resources and structures. Oh, my husband's watching. Resources and structures available to assist you in educating your child. In New York State, where I'm licensed, all you need to do is provide the substantial equivalent of education that your children would otherwise get in the zone public school. So those are some things you don't need to be or do. What you can do with homeschooling is tailor your child's education in a way that fits with your schedule and meets their needs as well. So that's a little bit about homeschooling. Thanks for the thumbs up. And let's get into it. How to homeschool and still have a life. I have about 10 tips. Hopefully I'll get to hit them all. Number one would be, as parents, go for your dreams. Go for your own dreams yourself. When we empower ourselves, we naturally empower our children. We are the best and first teachers that our children have. Whatever we teach them will stay with them for life, whether it's for good or for bad. So let's demonstrate our best for them. In fact, the reason I'm on, to plug my phone in, the reason I'm even on Facebook right now is because I had joined Toastmasters to improve my public speaking. And my current project is building a social media presence. If you had gotten in touch with me about 3 months ago, I had zero, these are small zeros, I had zero social media presence. But because of my project, I now have a YouTube channel, I built my website, I activated my Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm doing my first live, and I'm actually collaborating with my son. He has his own YouTube channel. He plays music, so we're actually working together. It's part of his curriculum. But how does it start? It starts when we parents go after our own dreams, seek our own self-improvement, and our children will see how we move around in the world. So that's number one. Two, someone once said, anything worth doing 2 or more times is worth creating a system for. So one system I've created to help buy me a little more time is just a little spreadsheet. This is an actual spreadsheet that my kids use. This is Chidi's, my 6th grader. The first time we homeschooled a few years ago, I was doing all the work. I was the teacher. I had the dry erase board, everything. And fast forward to today when we're getting together under emergency conditions, I was kind of like, ain't nobody have time for that anymore. Everything that the kids can do themselves, they now do. So I created a spreadsheet, and I hope you can see this. What I did was list, is this backwards? Anyway, I listed all the subjects that he has to complete for his sixth grade year. And then across the top, I just have the days of the week, and I gave it to them. I have it for all 3 kids, and I said by the end of the week, just make sure you've completed something in all of these subjects. In fact, in the beginning, I just said, just make sure you do math and ELA. I'm going to have to find my charger in a minute. Forgive the hand. That way, okay. So my phone doesn't die on me. I told them just do math and ELA. And we moved from crisis schooling into homeschooling. Back in March, everything was kind of up in the air, as you know, but we decided to add some stability. So they actually fill it out. Here's one that he has actually filled out. I'm not sure what day this is, but you'll see his handwriting. So when we first started, it was all nice and neat because I was typing everything in, doing their lesson plans, and ain't nobody got time. Bring them on camera. Somebody wants me to bring my kids on camera. I locked the door because as soon as I closed the door, everybody has needs. They start walking in. I may consider your request. Let me get through this information and see what we're going to do. So this is just an example to show that they have the wherewithal. I just told them, fill in the days, the pages that you did under the proper day, pick up tomorrow where you left off today, and that provides me with the documentation I need to report to the district. So that's just one example of a system that you can create to buy yourself time and also keep them on track. Number 3, build structure, but include flexibility. This is the structure. They know what's expected of them, but you can have flexibility in terms of location, in terms of time, in terms of the order that they complete their assignments. When we first started homeschooling, the location was, somebody else said bring them on camera. Oh, that's my old student from leaving college. Welcome, my photo. Yes, location, time. So when we first were homeschooling, the kitchen table was the location. Everybody had to report. We were all sitting down. You had to be seated and ready to work and XYZ. Today, the location actually turns out to be at the foot of my bed in the bedroom. The children just kind of naturally migrated, found a spot on the carpet, and that's where they were doing their work. Have at it. You get good sunlight. They were happy. I was happy. Let them choose their location. In terms of the time, you are not locked into an 8:30 to 4:30 schedule. Learning can break out anywhere, anytime, in the car, on a walk, what have you. And even as adults, there's sometimes we're like, I don't want to tackle this task right now. I'll do it later on, maybe after lunch, I'm going to do this. Give your children that flexibility as well. It empowers them. They feel they have a sense of taking charge of their own schedule. And it frees you up so you don't have to be helicopter mom, making sure, are you listening? Are you paying attention? Are you... and the order as well. Again, you don't have to be in math from 9 to 9:40. English comes at 10 o'clock to 10:20. If they want to wake up and they feel like doing art, they can do art. And then they can do their math a little later. Give them that flexibility. It keeps them empowered. It keeps you from pulling your hair out. I found that it works, and they take pretty good charge. Back in the crisis schooling section of it, I told my kids they only need to do math and ELA. Somehow my 13-year-old didn't catch that. I remember one evening around 9 p.m. I was tired. And I just asked, did you at least do your math and ELA? And he said, I only had to do math and ELA. I finished all my subjects. And that was a lesson to me. They will go above and beyond what you ask of them sometimes. So let them have at it. Number 4. Clone yourself. Who makes a better clone than your own children? By that I mean anything they can do, let them do, which will free you up to do what only you can do. For example, dishes, doing your laundry, folding your laundry, cleaning the bathroom, picking up your room, just general household chores, watering the plants. And these are actually subjects. It's called practical arts, again, in New York State. Everything they do, they get credit for. In addition, maybe this is a little aside, but as a small business owner, this is more on the entrepreneurial side than the homeschool. Well, it blends. As a business owner, I've actually been able to pay them as vendors, because they've now freed my time up to do some of the work that I need to do. So I issue them checks. And we go to the bank, so they know how to fill out a deposit slip. They know how to speak to the cashier. They know how to calculate, okay, this much is for tithe, this much for offering, this much for savings. This is the amount that mom will let me have for spending money. Adding to that, the money that they get paid, they now have to use to take care of their personal needs. If they need socks, if they need fresh white t-shirts, now it no longer has to just come out of my pocket. It's circulated a little more. They have to pay for it and budget for it and realize that socks do not just magically appear at home in your room on your bed. Now you know where to go in the aisle. Is it Costco or whatever? This is where you get socks. This is how much they cost. And it's a great learning tool. So clone yourself. It's good exercise for them. Number 5, build a curriculum around your child's interests. And also your own interests. I'll start with my interest. The example I just gave was financial literacy. I was a grown adult. I was actually an attorney by that time because I took the Maryland bar. I was still living. And up until then, I really had no idea how to budget my money. I learned how to budget when my dad took me to Albany. That's where I was working for the state legislature. He drove me up in my little compact car. I had all my belongings in the back. And I was used to living off of a school loan. So we had the penny saver, and he said, we were looking at places, and I was like, no, not this place. Hello, Genevieve. And he, in the margin of the penny saver, said, look, this is how much you'll be making. This is how much you need for your car insurance. This is how much you need to eat. This is how much you need. So this is all that you have left for rent. And I ended up living on the other side of the tracks. But I fixed that place up so nicely and had a wonderful time and didn't spend more money. So that was just the beginning of me learning how to budget. And even now as an entrepreneur, I tell people from preschool to law school, nobody ever taught me the things that I'm learning now about money, how to manage it, how to invest it, how to grow it. So I want to teach my kids early. So I included financial literacy in all of their curricula. So that's one way you can build your curriculum around your interests and also for their interests. Just yesterday we were watching the inauguration, and when Biden, hey, my cousin, hi, welcome. When Biden entered and was shaking hands with Obama, I said, oh, look at that. The oldest elected president is shaking hands with the youngest elected president. And my 11-year-old said, Obama's not the youngest elected president. John F. Kennedy is. And I was like, no, Obama is the youngest elected. I think somebody on the news might have even said that. He said, no, JFK is. And I was like, well, let's just check. And I got my cell phone and I fact-checked. And he was right. It was JFK. I think he was 43 at the time he took office. Don't quote me on that. But the way we learned that was my daughter had a math problem. I don't know if this is going to show up on enough. But it was on subtraction. And it said subtract the numbers to find out that how many years each president served in office. So they have the coins with George Washington, the nickel with Thomas Jefferson, the dime with Franklin Roosevelt, and then is that the half dollar? Or the dollar coin. But it has JFK on it. And the answer was 2. And she said, why did he only serve for 2 years? And I said, because he was assassinated. He was like, what is assassinated? I said, well, if somebody kills you or me, then that would be considered murder. But when they kill a high-ranking official like the president, that's called assassination. Oops. And I decided, well, next time we go to the library, let's get some, I don't know where my screen went now. My laptop screen. So I could, okay, give me 1 second, please. I just want to make sure that I'm appearing on screen, because if I don't know, nobody else will know, because I've locked my kids out. So next time we went to the library, we actually picked up some DVDs on JFK. So this one was, I don't know if it's coming, JFK and LBJ, A Time for Greatness, and then this other one on JFK. So it was by watching that my 11-year-old realized or learned that JFK was the youngest elected president. The bottom line is this is how learning can happen organically. Thank you, Danielle, for saying you can see me. This is how it happens organically, so you can build your curriculum. So now that counts towards their American history and their social studies requirements. We watched it and discussed it. very flexible with homeschooling. Tip number 6, use your library. I just mentioned an example. You can get books. Some of the books that we're using as textbooks are actually from the library, and we're just renewing them. The financial literacy books, for example. You can get free DVDs, free museum passes. Still wants to be in my video. Okay, next time. I'm just trying to hold it together for this first Facebook Live. Next time I'll have all the bells and whistles. Free museum passes. There are still some museums that are open, and instead of paying, you can get free passes from your library. They have arts and crafts. Sometimes you can pick up the supplies, or you can just download some ideas, and that can serve again towards their credits. Library skills is also part of the middle school requirements here in New York State. So the kids can learn how to renew their materials by phone. You all want to see these kids? Kiddos, if we run over 30 minutes, kiddos, they are learning how to renew their materials by phone, replace their library card. Oh, and the door is locked. Y'all get yourselves ready, because everybody's asking to see you on camera. Wow, that was good. Everybody welcome. They know how to do the self-checkout. They know how to present themselves to the librarian. Good afternoon. Can you help me find such and such? They know where to find the books on the stacks, place books on hold, a whole bunch of skills, and you can put this under the library skills portion. Check with your library now, because they may have different restrictions due to COVID. For example, it might be browsing only, where there are no chairs. You can't sit down in the library. They just have access but not hang out. They want to sit in and watching. And not, okay, I'll open it in a second. You all, hold on, let me go let them in. Is everybody decent? So come on, everybody wants to see you. Well, okay. All right. This is just real. They weren't expecting. You have to take your hoods off at least. Okay, here's Lucci. This is my 3rd grader, 8 years old. Cutie. They're too cool for school. They refused. They insisted on growing their hair out. What, your hair's not picked out? Okay. Yeah, they have to be just right. But this is my 6th grader, 11 years old, and Uche. Forgive the hoods. They're wearing hoods in the house. And this is my 13-year-old 8th grader. Right? Yeah. Okay. And his voice is starting to change too. Okay, you all close the door and lock the door. Okay. Okay, see? I'm going to mention things like this later on. Okay, thank you. All right, everybody. Thanks. Go. Time's ticking. Thank you. I think I was mentioning, just check with your local library. Thank you all. Yes, they've grown up quite a bit. Thank God. They might have curbside pickup, and they might even have full service. Sometimes if you just take a short drive and pay some tab. Get a library, a great library. Number 7, create an environment for learning. This is just about the physical space. Natural daylight helps to lift the mood. Nice views, at least so the children can look out and see something. We live in the city, so there's no grass and rolling hills, but at least they can look out a little bit and have a little different experience. Well ventilated, keep your place well ventilated, maybe early in the morning. it's cold where we are, but open up the windows and flush out the old air, let in the new air, and that will keep them alert, keep the temperature comfortable. If you don't have temperature control, bundle them up. Just make sure they're comfortable. And also keep quiet. That's one that I had to adjust to, because while they're doing their work, I like listening to podcasts, like self-development type podcasts, but when they hear my phone talking, they think that gives them permission to talk too. So I just keep a quiet environment for them. And that also helps to keep everybody comfortable. That leads into number 8, which is schedule interruptions. Schedule your interruptions. I found that when I was busy doing my work, when they were doing their work, and they would ask me something, it would try my patience a bit. I got a text. It would try my patience a bit, because if I always had to stop doing what I was doing to give them attention. Or even if I was listening to my own podcast and they're calling me, oh, what is it? So I blocked out some time from like 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I know that's interruption time, which means if I'm doing my own thing and they have a question, I will leave what I'm doing, give them my full time and attention, answer their questions. It keeps me calm and patient, and it meets their needs. And I just know in my time, okay, in my mind, this is their time. So again, it's just another technique to kind of keep peace in the house. Number 9, and this is especially for parents of special needs children, but for all of us, self-care. Take time for self-care. Your body will tell you what it needs. If you need a nap, take your nap. I remember when I gave birth to my second child, I had a 2-year-old at home, and you know how active 2-year-olds can be. I saw the hospital stay as a vacation resort. I said, I'm going to sleep as much as I can. I'm going to enjoy them bringing my meals to me. So they bring the baby to me, I feed the baby, and then I give the baby back so they can take it to the nursery. And those some moms don't judge me. They're like, no, in an airplane, they say take care of the oxygen that's on down, take care of yourself first so that you have energy and to take care of your children. And I only had a night or 2 in the hospital, so I took full advantage, even as they're older now. And you need time for self-care. Oh, my sound is going in and out. Okay. I'll try to stay still. I get excited and animated when I'm talking. So I hope this is better. Give me a thumbs up if it's better. But once you take care of yourself, our bodies are the vessels that we use to do the good work that we do as parents. And once that breaks down, we become limited. So definitely take time out to do what you need to do. And number 10, unplug and take walks with your kids. Not necessarily like jogging and getting some exercise in. Just take a moderate walk and give yourself to bond with your life. I learned the power of taking a walk with my kids, I think around August last year. I woke up early Saturday morning, maybe 6 a.m. And I usually don't go for a walk on Saturday morning, but I woke up and I said, I want to go for a walk. And my then 12-year-old was up, and I asked, do you want to come with me? So we went together, drove out a little bit, because again, I'm kind of like right in the city. So we drove to an area that had grass and trees. Hopped out the car, and he was ahead of me, and I was walking behind, and I let him be. I didn't say, well, walk next to me. So as long as we could see each other, that's how it went. Somehow during the course of walking, we were no longer walking like this. Now we were walking together and talking together. I found out later that one of the things he missed most about school was walking to school. To him, that was his me time. If he wanted to stop by the corner store and pick up a juice or, some pastry or something, that was his time, walking to and from school. So as soon as we got out, that was, instead of me, I'm glad I had the presence of mind to just let him be, but I didn't realize that was him trying to reclaim a little normalcy to his day. But by the time it was over, we were walking and talking side by side. So take some time to connect. You never know what's on your child's mind. Don't force them. They don't have to force you. And you get your exercise in as well. 7:33, not bad on time. Let me just throw in the bonus. Here's a bonus. I just discovered these like yesterday or 2 days ago. One of the things our kids are missing most is that social interaction. And the district had a homeschool parent meeting, I think last night, and I posed that question to the administrator. And she suggested a couple of things. One was have a dinner party. Your kids can have a dinner party, a Zoom dinner party with some of their friends, and make it a theme night. We're doing Spanish food. So the kids can either prepare the meal or they can buy some Spanish food and you all Zoom and have your meal together. Plus, you share something about where the food is from. Is it from whatever, South American country or Cuban food or what have you. Share some information about how you made it. If you have a grandmother or a family member who can tell a little of how they grew up. That way they get to interact with each other. It's not school, but it's still an enriching activity, and that was great. I think another suggestion I got was from another sixth grader, and she said, how about pen pals? And I thought, what a wonderful way to revive the lost art of letter writing. I used to have a pen pal, and you can teach them the parts of a friendly letter. They can have the excitement of, I don't know if they'll call it exciting, but writing the letter, putting it in envelopes, slapping a stamp on it, mailing it off. But it is exciting when you actually get a response. And again, that's another teaching moment. And you will give them a chance to how we can know our children and still have a life for themselves. Vida, my fellow tennis mom, you missed it. I brought them on camera. They were all there, but you see them at tennis anyway. If I leave you with anything, let me just let you know that it's possible. Laws are already flexible. This COVID emergency, at least in New York, they've made them even more relaxed because they realize things are in a state of flux. For example, the annual state tests, you can get exemptions for those. It's a great time for you to either remediate or accelerate or both. If your child needs a little more work in math, this is a great time to strengthen that foundation, but they might be skyrocketing in science, so you can accelerate them. You can do both at the same time. This is an opportune time to do that. By all means, visit my website. Two things: subscribe first, again, so that I can contact you easily, and two, just leave me a message in the Get in Touch section. Do we have any questions? I see mostly comments. Thank you all for your support. If there are any other topics you'd like me to cover, find me on I am on social media now. Find me on Facebook. Hit me up on Instagram. I don't even know if I'm using the lingo correct because I was using email for 30 years. That's about all I know. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. What else? What else we got? But definitely visit my website. So I'll provide technical support. I'll let you know what the laws are. Administrative support. I can help you fill out and file and coaching as well, so that we can walk through it together. I've been through it. I'm still going through it. We can do it together. That's all for tonight, you all. Any other comments? Thank you. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for making this first Facebook Live actually happen. Be sure to visit me and we'll get together again soon. Okay, you can go back to your busy lives now. Until next time.